It started as a kid's book, just like we'd gone to a zoo, and I saw a chameleon in a cage at a zoo, and it made me think, what a fun idea for the beginning of a children's book. But then it became so much more than a children's book, and the story itself really began to take on some kind of its own life, and it's really not a children's book anymore. It's appropriate for children, but it's so much more than that. And of course, everybody always asks whenever you've written a book what the appropriate age group is, or what age group it's intended for. And that's always a difficult question for me to answer, because it's appropriate for 2-year-olds, it's appropriate for 20-year-olds. I think this is a book for families. And if you're interested in a book that can reach all the ages in your home, then I think this is one for you. I really do. That's one of the reasons it's hard to sell traditionally, because it's hard to put into a pigeonhole. It's hard to put it into a little slot and say, this is a kid's book, or this is, a book for young adults. I think this is a book for everybody. I truly believe that. And I know people say that, and I know that they're always talking about how it's a book for all ages, but this one is. It's a book about hope. It's a book about hope in a difficult world, and just in a difficult time of the world's history, I think. So without giving away the ending, I want to say it's about hope. I think one of the important things about this story is that there's a story behind the story. And when it came time to do illustrations for this book, I probably talked to 8 different professional artists and very good artists, and I just couldn't find anybody who fit what I needed. And I needed something very simple and very clean and very I didn't want professional artwork, is what it comes down to. And so it wound up that I started to do the artwork. I had a friend, Linda Day, who said you should do it yourself, just give it a shot, and I did. And I have to say that story is pretty interesting in and of itself, because I think that it illustrates a really important point behind the book. And one of the underlying themes of the book is that if you allow God to work with you, He can do so much more with you than you can do with you. I had no idea that I had 60 plus illustrations in me for this book, but He knew. And because of that, I was able to do the illustrations myself, which I'm very proud of. Sometimes, though, I have to say, when people read the book, and I'm a writer first, so I'm really more excited about the story than the pictures, and then they're more excited about the pictures, I'm a little hurt, frankly. It's just a simple little story about a chameleon and a cricket. The chameleon lives in a zoo, the cricket is his food, and what happens when the chameleon and the cricket become friends, and what happens to you when you become friends with your food. I mean, it's a real dilemma, and I have to tell you, I didn't know how to solve it when I was writing the story, but I got a piece of really good advice from one of my children, and he suggested a pretty unorthodox ending for the book, and it just fit so beautifully, and it was so unexpected, but it works, because I didn't know how to make it work. There was really no solution. The cricket has to be eaten by the chameleon. That's the way the world is. That's the way the world works, and that's the way the world has always worked. Or is it? Is it really the way the world has always worked, and will it always be this way? You need to find out, because there are other endings than we might expect to this world. You'll have to buy it and read it for yourself. That's my pitch.